Near Torrey Pines in Charleston, and just minutes ago we got new information from police about what led up to this.
Yeah, let's get right out to the scene now. 13 Action News anchor Leslie Moran is over at the neighborhood with more info.
Dana, Beth, police tell us that they do have a suspect in custody when it comes to this stabbing, but that victim in this did not survive when they were rushed to the hospital. Now, I want to get out of the way and show you what people are waking up to here on Casada Way this morning. You can see officers have completely blocked off this street, and there are plenty of detectives down in the other direction. Right now, we do know that the victim did live on this street and was on the street with a group of people when that person was approached by the suspect around 2 a.m. Now, police say an argument began between the suspect and the victim, and that is when the victim was stabbed and the suspect ran. Now, police were actively patrolling this area, which is pretty interesting because within minutes they were able to wrap up this investigation. Not only were they flagged down by witnesses of the stabbing to go and help that victim, but there happened to be an officer at an apartment complex about a quarter-mile away. That is where this suspect ran to. They were able to quickly arrest that suspect, get them into custody. Right now, the only information we have on the suspect and the victim is that they were both black males in their 40s. We do not know if they actually knew each other. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Leslie, for the update.
Another scary incident during the first week of school. 2 teenagers in the valley robbed at gunpoint on their walk to school.
The mother of the 2 girls telling us that she is absolutely furious with what happened.
I wanted vengeance, and I wanted to make sure that they paid for what they did because my girls are good girls.
Well, the girls were walking to Basic High School in Henderson when 2 men walked up to them. It happened yesterday morning. One of the men flashing a gun. Police say that the 2 guys took the girls' cell phones. Thankfully, the girls weren't hurt. Their mother saying that she is upset.
As far as, their safety and everything, I know that they'll be safe. I kind of, am leery about sending them back with what's going on.
Yeah, the good news here is police have arrested 2 suspects. One is a Basic High School student. Officers said that they found 2 BB guns during the investigation. You think, what do they want to rob from students? But they took their phones.
Yeah, but wow. I know. Well, students over at Barber Elementary are a bit safer walking to school this morning thanks to their new crossing guard.
Parents called upset after they noticed the empty crossings on the first day of school. Well, the district said that they would be in place come Wednesday, and we stopped by and saw that they had followed through on their promise. The guard we spoke with says they are still short-staffed, but he's working before and after school for now and doing double duty, so we thank him. Keeping the kiddos safe.
Yeah, when I drive my daughter to school, I'm always appreciative of the crossing guards. They take great care of those kids. This morning, UNLV police will soon be wearing body cameras. They'll start recording next week. Coming up at 5:30, Parker Collins shows the unique feature that will change the way students interact with officers.
Well, this story has everyone talking. Investigators in Colorado trying to figure out why a father allegedly killed his own pregnant wife and 2 young daughters. Right now, Chris Watt is being held without bail.
The bodies of his daughters were found in an oil and gas tank on a property where he once worked. His wife's body found in a field nearby on the same property. Now, how they were killed is sealed in court documents, but we do know that it happened in the family's home and then he moved their bodies. Friends of the couple say they're just in absolute shock.
We feel so stupid about that now. Like, trusting him to stay the night in the same house as our daughter. I mean, I'll never let that go.
Watt faces 3 counts of capital murder and prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. A vigil will be held tonight at the family's home.
Crews in Italy now using excavators to clear large sections of that collapsed highway that went down 3 days ago as they continue to search for survivors. Well, the heavy equipment removing a large vertical piece that allows crews to search an entirely new area that they couldn't get to. Rescuers have been tunneling through tons of jagged steel, concrete, and crushed vehicles that fell as much as 150 feet. Officials say 38 were killed, more than a dozen injured. At least 10 to 20 people are unaccounted for. Some of the first funerals will actually start happening today, but sometimes you find one or two people still there.
Yeah.
There's hope. There's hope.
Yeah, there is. You're right. President Trump is going to have to wait a little bit longer for his military parade. After observing this Bastille Day parade in Paris last year, he said he wanted something similar for the U.S. Well, it was then decided a military parade would take place on Veterans Day weekend in November. By the way, that timing also commemorates the 100-year anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. But the Pentagon announced yesterday it is postponing the parade. It did not offer a reason for the delay, but it could be due to the cost of putting on an event like this. Empty beer bottles and a drunk driver behind the wheel. That's what police say they found after an ice cream truck slammed into a man using a wheelchair.
I'm just glad he hit me instead of some kid, because I found out it was an ice cream truck.
Well, Stephen Whitefeather was thrown from his motorized wheelchair when the driver slammed into him. Then a tire shop near Fremont and over at 21st Street. Police say when they arrested the driver, he could barely stand up. They even found empty beer bottles replacing ice cream inside the truck's freezer.
How do you drive an ice cream truck drunk? That drunk drivers bother me anyway. But now it happened to me. Now I'm really pissed.
Yeah, Whitefeather served in the Vietnam War and survived after being placed in a prisoner war camp.
Wow.
The driver now facing DUI charges and is expected in court later this month.
Right now, police are looking for a driver who they say plowed into a bicyclist yesterday morning during Good Morning Las Vegas. Chopper 13 was over this scene on Lake Mead near Martin Luther King Boulevard. Right now, the search continues for that driver. They took off. The bicyclist is fighting for life, suffering from life-threatening injuries. Crashes involving pedestrians continue to happen in our valley. In 2016, 57 people lost their lives in Clark County walking across the road. 2017, a record-breaking 78 pedestrians died, and so far this year, 37. Metro is currently campaigning with other agencies to try to put a stop to these preventable deaths.
A vigil will be held in the Valley tonight in honor of the Queen of Soul. Aretha Franklin was 76 years old when she died in her home in Detroit yesterday.
Surrounded by friends and family. After the news of her death, many here in the Valley honored the late singer. The canopy at Fremont Street lit up with pictures and videos of Aretha. Visitors also got to hear some of her biggest hits.
More tributes were held around the country. This video shows fans outside the Apollo Theater over in New York City. Dozens gathered singing along to Aretha's song, A Natural Woman. Well, Franklin was the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, and in 2005 she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Tonight's vigil for Aretha will be held at Diamond Homes near Gowan and Walnut from 6 to 7 p.m. if you'd like to head over.
It's 5:10. Good morning to you.
198, boys and girls. It's a true Hellcat, and she still run good.
A 22-year-old now facing charges after police busted him going 198 miles per hour on the highway.
Plus, changes to the silver screen, how movie theaters around the world plan to alter your viewing experience.
With respect to the weekend, get ready for some pretty serious heat. 106 on Saturday, 108 on Sunday. By the end of the weekend, a little less humid. We'll talk about storm chances this afternoon and see what kind of temperatures we can expect next week with 7-Day Planner.
And right now we're tracking a crash on the resort corridor, slowing down southbound traffic pretty significantly right now. We're tracking it with maps, traffic cameras, and live drive. Everything you need to know before you head out the door.
Breaking overnight, a Phoenix police officer is recovering in the hospital after exchanging gunfire with the suspect following a traffic stop. The police chief believes the shooting was an ambush. The officer exchanged gunfire with the suspect. Both the suspect and the officer are in critical condition. The officer's been on the force for about a year.
A 22-year-old is now facing charges after a YouTube video was posted online showing him going 198 miles per hour on a highway in North Carolina.
198, boys and girls. It's a true Hellcat, and she still run good.
The 7-minute clip showing him speeding was sent to police. The driver was arrested and charged with speed racing.
New video this morning giving us another angle of that massive fire tornado that tore through Northern California in the Carr fire last month. The video from Cal Fire shows the destruction from the air and the ground. The National Weather Service says it formed from the heat that was rapidly rising from the ground, mixed with erratic winds. Trees were uprooted, power lines knocked down, houses completely leveled. The Carr fire is still burning. It's destroyed nearly 215,000 acres.
Well, today the SLS Las Vegas and the W Hotel are merging into a full resort experience.
Okay, the resort will be called the Grand Tower. The SLS will assume all of the operations of the W Hotel, including reservations. Any reservation made before today will be honored, no problem, but after today, the hotel's rewards and point systems will change. I hope some of the restaurants stay put, because they have some great dining on that property.
Yeah, my favorite there, Clio, I think is closing. Kind of bummed, but the Bazaar Meats is staying.
Oh, that's good. Bazaar Meats is fabulous if you haven't been.
I think they're actually going to make it bigger and better as well.
Really?
That's what I heard on some of the foodie blogs.
All right, something to look forward to.
Penn and Teller returning to their show at the Rio this weekend. The duo has taken a brief hiatus, you may remember, when Teller had to have that back surgery, so he's been recovering, and they celebrate their 25th anniversary, also extending their contract at the Rio for an additional 3 years. The Las Vegas Aces need a win on the road tonight. This is exciting. They have to beat the Dallas Wings if they want to make it to the WNBA playoffs. So fingers crossed. The Wings have won both of the previous games against the Aces this season, so I think it's our turn. If the Aces win tonight, they will have to beat the Atlanta Dream on Sunday here at home to grab a playoff spot. I like their names, the Wings, the Dream, the Aces.
We especially like the Aces. Yeah. Good luck, ladies. Good luck. Movie theaters around the world are changing the way they show films. They're using 3 screens now.
Yeah, it's supposed to give people a 270-degree view and completely immerse them into the movie. Speakers are also placed around the auditorium to alleviate that experience. The technology first debuted in South Korea. Now theaters in the UK are starting to offer it. No word on when or if it will come to the United States. I don't know. I like one screen.
Yeah, me too.
It's just easier. I don't have time to look around. I'm relaxing.
I'm all for it. Let's do this. Are they going to shoot the movies differently, I wonder?
I don't know.
Can you imagine seeing something like Castaway, where it's like, oh, me and Tom Hanks were all alone on this island.
Oh, man. That movie's a bummer.
That movie's the best.
No. When he returns and all of a sudden his wife is married to somebody else. I mean, talk about a downer. You just spent all that time alone.
This is really bad TV, just me standing here listening, but I totally disagree with your opinion. It's super sad, but you know what? That's life sometimes, Dana.
Fish served at the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. All right. Back to the weather. Sunrise at 6 o'clock this morning. I love Castaway. I think it's a great movie. Yasmin agrees. It's a great movie. We're looking at scattered showers in the afternoon. They were pretty widespread. There you can see yesterday. They were fairly widespread yesterday afternoon. Didn't have a ton of them in the valley. Did have some on the south side during the early afternoon. But I was saying that the humidity is still stuck in place today and tomorrow, especially down here at surface level. It will still be fairly muggy on your Saturday, but by Sunday, drier air filters in, so less muggy on Sunday. Still low humidity on Monday, but then a return surge of some of that humidity, some of that mugginess early next week. So we'll catch a little bit of a break from the humidity as we look ahead to Sunday and Monday, but it's going to be really hot to make up for that. Muggy and hot on Saturday, less humid but hotter Sunday, and no storm chances to worry about this weekend, so at least we don't have to deal with downpours. Now this afternoon we will watch a few downpours over the mountains to our northwest and especially the south. It does look like those downpours will be limited to the higher terrain, so pretty good chance that we'll keep it completely dry here in the valley. Medium pollen levels Friday through Saturday and Sunday, grasses, sagebrush, and ragweed out there. So maybe a mountain storm today, but everyone is dry through the weekend. Very, very hot though, with temperatures way above average Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's mean a little humidity next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday brings back isolated storm chances, but thankfully it'll give us a little more cloud cover, and that'll keep us a little closer to 100 for the middle of next week.
That sounds great. Thank you, Justin. Your main problem spot remains the 15 right near Tropicana, right near Russell. Great news, a great update though. Only one lane is blocked off in that southbound direction. Earlier this morning, all the lanes lanes were blocked off, then a couple of lanes, and now just one lane. But we are, as you can see, still seeing a little bit of congestion because of that lane that's blocked off. Right now, your resort corridor drive times 16 minutes heading south, more traffic going through the 15. So we're going to keep a close eye on this throughout the morning. But we do have a couple of crashes around the valley that I also want to warn you about. Flamingo and Cobalt.